Alright, so maybe it's been a little bit over 70 hours, but this sounds a lot better. What I have right here and what I've been testing out is the latest generation, the Galaxy S25 Ultra. I have it right here and I've been enjoying it a lot, which I have taken a liberty and upgraded from the Flip and went back to, the standard display style phone. And to the most part, I've been enjoying it. However, just like life, there's some amazing pros and some cons that everybody should at least be aware of. So here's the list of pros and cons that I discovered after spending a little over 3 days with this device that you need to know about the Samsung S25 Ultra. So let's start off by highlighting all the pros first before we start talking about the cons. So one of the biggest pros to me is for any phone in general is when the manufacturer is guaranteeing a time span for its supported operating system. As Samsung is actually guaranteeing this phone to be able to receive up to 7 years of full software improvements as well as bug fixes and security improvements. I like that. And then the second cool thing about this phone is the fact that this phone has a large 5000 mAh battery, which has some impressive fast charging performance. You see, what I've seen was a 40-watt power adapter. This phone is able to go from 0 to 72% in just 30 minutes. And at 60 minutes, it's at 100%, which is quite impressive. And then just like every Samsung phone, including like what's available on the Flip, I love reverse charging. Enabling reverse charging is such a game changer where I could simply like power my friend's iPhone or AirPod by just simply enabling it, place the phone down and just cover it over and just begin wireless charging. Yeah, I put a case on. I don't want my phone to get scratched. You don't know how many times that feature comes in handy, and it's pretty impressive. Although it's a 4.5 watt rated wireless power sharing, unfortunately, but still nonetheless, it's enough to power on the device for a few extra minutes. But another thing I like most about this phone is wireless charging Gen 2, as it does support 25 watt wireless charging. Yes, I understand that certain brands are using 45 watts. In my opinion, 25 is more enough. If I need something quick, best method is to use wired. But regardless, I have to say, this screen that this phone has is extremely gorgeous. If we go on YouTube real quick and like launch like a 4K video, look at this peacock right here. All these insane colors. This is still by far one of the best sounding speakers on any smartphone, but also one of the best images on any OLED. There's a reason why Apple is using Samsung OLEDs on their devices. But the larger 6.9 inch display with thinner bezel, this edge-to-edge display, even with the bumper on, like this case I have going on, although it's very thin, you could visually get a general understanding how thin these bezels are and how much extra screen real estate you have. Additionally, outdoors, this screen, it's anti-glare that it has going on thanks to the latest generation of Gorilla Glass. This is Armor 2. Not only is the screen more durable than previous generation, but the anti-glare definitely does come in clutch. Now, I picked this phone up for a little over $600. That's because I am trading in the Flip and moving on to experiment with the larger S25 Ultra. So if you're planning on upgrading, so another great thing about Samsung, what I really like about this company is the fact their trading bonuses is insane. You'll get a lot of value out of like a really old Android phone or even an iPhone in their trade-in program, giving you a nice hefty discount with many free accessories like this case I got. But you also have access to their exclusive like colors. You see, the one we have here is the jet black version, which means everything is black on black, as you see right here. Where if you go at another retail store, you'll get the standard color choices to choose from, but online they give you access to some exclusive colors. In addition to that, they also give you double the storage free of charge. So for the same retail price you'll buy at a store, by picking it up on Samsung website, they literally give you 500 gigs out of the box at no additional cost. So if I go in settings, they gave us 512 gigs free for no additional charge. Something that Apple will never do. But since we have our phone out of the case, you can see right here the new corner edges that's all around the body. I really like this. It's super easy to grip. It's more forgiving versus like sharp angles that it used to had. These grips really does give you a nice satisfying grip that you're not going to drop this phone or hurt yourself. And then another massive improvement we received is the new 50 pixels ultra wide sensor. And the photos that this camera can take are revolutionary, especially for the ultra wide. Usually the ultra wide sensor is usually where most modern day smartphones will suffer a little bit, as they have the standard or previous generation 12 megapixel. The 50 megapixel is a massive game changer, delivering greater photos in low light situations. And then this being an ultra, we also have fantastic zoom as well. Now, another amazing thing I have noticed from this phone and other Samsung models, and then AI is one of the most focused features on the Ultra, which features the capability to remove background noise when recording video, which in my opinion sounds very similar to like the background noise software that's on Final Cut. In my opinion, it seems like they're using something like that. But where the improvements definitely does come in play with the new AI is the Pro Scaler. So if you're watching like 720p old videos, or even 360p as well, like red versus blue as I'm showing you right here, the footage is set at the highest resolution, and back then this was the highest it was able to deliver. But even though everything is blocky, the upscale definitely doesn't allow old videos feel new again, delivering a new experience, not a outdated feel. So this is quite amazing, and it does all this using its internal hardware. Nothing is sent to a cloud, it's all done internally, which is quite impressive. Now, this is where the cons come in. There's a couple of sneaky things that everybody should at least be aware of. For instance, Gemini, it's only free for 6 months after purchasing and activating your phone. So there's something you have to keep in mind. Some of the AI features you will lose if you don't pay for the monthly subscription for Gemini. And although it does have a large 5,000 milliampere hour battery, when it comes to other flagship Android phones, they are using 6,000. So it's kind of a letdown knowing that it's 1,000 milliampere hour shy compared to other flagship models. But regardless, battery life is still really great. And I cannot forget to mention that the S Pen is no longer Bluetooth. Although it works extremely well, features that it has going on where you can like hover over certain objects, it still works, just you can't use like the hands-free pen gesture control to like take a selfie and stuff. However, due to the backlash that Samsung has been receiving, Samsung did make its quick statement saying that a Bluetooth S Pen can be coming out pretty soon. That'll be compatible on the S25 Ultra, which in my opinion should have came standard, or at least should offer like a free upgrade or something like that. Samsung excuse was we've been using our smartwatches or the Samsung Ring if you have that to take photos, but to be honest, I have that feature disabled because sometimes when I'm recording a video, just a simple hand movement will cause the video to automatically pause or stop recording. So the S Pen in my opinion is probably one of the downers. And another thing I have noticed, and a couple of users as well, especially on X, that the animation on some of the UI isn't really fine tweaked yet. There's some like rough animations here and there. In my opinion, it's perfectly fine. I used to work on computers that ran Linux. Trust me, this is much better than that if we're nitpicking animations. But regardless, on launch, this should have been all resolved though. There's no excuse in that. But overall, if you notice, there's more pros than cons to this phone. Aside from the S Pen thing, I really do enjoy this phone. The larger screen definitely does come in handy, and in my opinion, it looks better than the larger version of what competitors has to offer. And this black on black color, jet black, looks absolutely amazing. So if you're planning on picking one up, I'll be sure to include a link in the description down below where you could get this double the storage free of charge at no additional cost. And let me know in the comment section which one of the exclusive colors you went with that are only available on the Samsung website. But anyways, there you guys have it. That's just a quick overview of the Samsung S25 Ultra and some pros and cons to definitely consider before pulling the trigger, and purchasing that amazing phone. Thank you so much for watching.